Challenge. And today we're going to be talking about hydration and electrolytes, the simple foundation most people overlook for better energy, fewer cravings, and avoiding symptoms of the keto flu. Um, in this live, I'm going to be walking you through why hydration and electrolytes matter so much when you're starting a keto or low carb diet, what hydration looks like for me in a normal day, and the signs that you might be underhydrated, and the quick fixes that I use personally that usually help within 15, 20 minutes, something like that. So, just for a power list recap here. So, I'm doing a 14-day challenge in my Skool group. So, if you're just jumping in, these are the 5 critical tasks that I'm doing every single day for the challenge. So, number one is sticking to my meal plan. So, that's my chosen carb level. So, whether it's the strict, moderate, or liberal, then I'm doing my hydration piece, which I'm focusing more on today for this video. And so that'll just be my water and electrolytes for the day, my sleep. So that's my wake up time and my bedtime, the movement, that'll be my daily workout, and the accountability piece, which is just posting to the thread in my Skool group to keep myself accountable. So this is super simple. It's either I did the task or I didn't. And at the end of the day, it's a win or loss based on these 5 critical tasks. So today we're going to be zooming in on task number 2, like I mentioned, which is the hydration piece. So when people first drop carbs and start eating a more low carb diet, they're often surprised in how they feel in the first week or two. You might notice headaches, fatigue, some brain fog, maybe some cramps or feeling heavy in your legs, maybe some dizziness when you stand up as well. That cluster of symptoms is what people call the keto flu. So, a big part of that is not that keto is dangerous. It's just that when you lower your carbs and insulin, your body starts to dump water and sodium through your kidneys. And so you lose more fluids and electrolytes, especially sodium, potassium, and magnesium. And so this is where most people give up because they end up feeling worse than when they started and say things like, I guess that maybe this just isn't for me. And not to say that every diet is for everyone, and maybe a keto diet might not be for you. But that's usually the reason why majority of the people quit, because they don't stick it out for that first initial struggle when just their body's getting adapted to a new way of eating. So that's why we're going to be zooming on hydration and electrolytes today. So this isn't just like drink more water advice, which is most people do need to drink more water, but this is more about giving what your body needs so it actually feels you can feel human when you're doing the low carb diet. So um this is far more important, like the electrolyte piece is far more important when you're just starting out and you're not yet metabolically flexible. So once you're more fat adapted, the need for electrolytes changes a bit, and you don't have to pay quite as much attention in the first couple of weeks, because what we're doing here and paying more attention to is if you're first getting into a low carb diet or keto diet, it's going to be a lot different than if you're already adapted and stuff. So that's why we want to focus here. But on a normal day, basically what my goal is 3 liters of water. And so I don't obsess with the exact number, but I do structure it so it supports my energy and is something that I'm stressing out throughout the day. So I want to talk about how I calculated for the daily water intake for myself. So right now my weight is 185 pounds. And so the way I calculate this is I take half my body weight, which is 92.5 ounces. So I put the half the body weight in ounces, and then I convert it to liters just because in my head I can picture liters a lot better than just ounces. So that converts to about 2.7 liters of water. But then I train quite a lot and I sweat a lot every day. So I just rounded it up to 3 liters. Plus, I'm super OCD and I like even numbers because 2.7 just doesn't sit well with me. So that's part of the reason. And so that'll be my daily water intake. So I'm not counting things I use for like coffee or tea or anything. It's just strictly water for that daily water intake. And so one of the biggest pieces of advice that I can give you if you're trying to hit a water intake that you haven't normally before, because most of us aren't drinking enough water on a daily basis, is I have a water bottle that's just sitting right next to me. So I'm just constantly sipping on it all day and it's right in my field of view. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'll get some water. Right. And so that's been the biggest piece for me to be able to drink more water for the day. And so I'm not as strict on electrolytes now as when I was first getting on a keto diet and I wasn't yet fat adapted. So what I'll usually do is I'll salt my food generously, and I'll have at least one electrolyte drink per day. Like sometimes I'll skip it, like the electrolyte supplement. But if you're just starting out, I would make that non-negotiable just in at least the first month, because you don't need to be perfect, but having a plan and some guidelines to follow makes a big difference. And like I said, it's a lot more difficult when you're first starting because you're gonna feel those symptoms of the keto flu in the beginning, and making sure to have enough electrolytes and water could potentially bypass all of that. So, um, some of the guidelines that I follow for a day, if I can, as far as like hydration. So I do set a realistic water target. I'm not going to just say something crazy like 5 liters, something like that, um, because it's just not realistic for me. And then I want to have some sort of electrolyte plan. So like whether it's just salting your food generously, seeing how that works for you, you might need to add a supplement, and again, you might not. It'll be different for everyone, but I would recommend kind of um, experimenting with this just to see what works for you, because you could just get away with just salting your food a little bit more. But a lot of people will need an extra electrolyte supplement. So something that I'm using is something called BioSteel. And so that does come with branched chain amino acids, BCAA. So that's just like a building block of protein. So it's a little more than the electrolyte, but there's other different electrolyte powders and supplements. The only thing that I would recommend is maybe looking for something that doesn't have sugar in it. Maybe it'll have different things like allulose, or maybe stevia is another one, monk fruit, just something that's not sugar would be a better bet. And then I do spread my water consumption consistent throughout the day. So like if I have my water target, like for a challenge like this, I have to hit my water target or I have to reset. So I don't want to be at the end of the day and like, oh crap, I still have like a liter left to drink before bed, and then I'm chugging water and then I have to get up to piss. Right? That's not something I want to do. So that's why I keep the water bottle right next to me and I'm sipping it throughout the day. So it's not this big thing at the end of the day where you're chugging it. And like if you're not doing the challenge and you're just trying to get more water, maybe it might be a little bit different and you wouldn't necessarily need to chug the water at the end of the day, but then you wouldn't get your water intake. So just something to think about there. And then so I kind of want to go over some of my go-to electrolyte foods, like foods where you'll get electrolytes, just because like you might not even need to supplement. I would say it's more important in the beginning, again, just to make sure you're getting the electrolytes you need. But you can definitely get it through diet. So some of my favorites are the Baja Gold sea salt. So that will have some sodium, magnesium, and potassium. It's lower on the magnesium and potassium, but it's got that compared to like normal table salt. Normal table salt is just more sodium. I'll eat pickles olives sometimes. That'll have the sodium. Some cheese has a bit of sodium in it. My ground beef, that'll be sodium, magnesium, and potassium. Same with the steak that I would eat. Chicken, bacon, like all these meats and stuff do have some of these electrolytes in it. Bone broth is like an amazing source of all these electrolytes, like the sodium, magnesium, potassium. There's more electrolytes than that, but these are just the three big ones that you're going to want to pay attention to. And then if you like fish, like salmon, tuna, those are good choices. Avocados, mushrooms, again, those are all good choices you can incorporate into your diet that will be hitting more on the electrolyte piece for yourself. So I want to go over some signs that you could be underhydrated, so that this would just be an indication to drink more water. So some things that might happen is like you'll notice a sudden drop in energy that doesn't really match your sleep. So if you're having good sleep and you're all of a sudden tired, there'll be other reasons too, but this could just be an indication you might need to drink more water and get some electrolytes in. Maybe a headache, pressure behind the eyes, maybe stronger cravings that feel way bigger than they should based on what you've been eating. Maybe you're feeling lightheaded when you stand up, and then maybe your urine's a bit darker and you're not peeing as much. So you want to look for a clear stream when you're taking a piss, because that's a good indication that you're getting enough water. So when these show up, like I don't just push through it, but I do something very simple. So what I'll do is I'll have a quick 16, 20 ounces of water, and then I'll mix in a hit of the electrolyte. So whether it's electrolyte supplement that you can mix into the water, or even if it's just a pinch of salt, put that in the water, and then maybe even a little bit of lemon works as well. And then give yourself 15, 20 minutes and just pay attention to how you feel. So some of those symptoms will be going away. And if they go away, then in that case, it was just that you weren't hydrated enough and you didn't have your electrolytes. So it could ease the headaches. It could bring the energy up a bit. and then it could calm those cravings down a little bit too. So it's not that hydration fixes everything, but I think it's a very good low barrier thing that you can just do just to kind of see if that might be the problem for some of those things. Because like I know a lot of people sometimes get a headache and stuff like that, and then they go and start pounding the Tylenol when they could have just had more water and a little bit of electrolytes. So you don't need to make this overcomplicated or anything, but that would be a good first step if you are experiencing those things. So I'm going to go over my power list of what I'm doing for the challenge. So just kind of show you about what I did yesterday for it. So number one would be my meals. So if you've been following me along, I only eat 2 times a day, and I'm keeping under the 25 grams of carbs per day for the meal plan that I chose. And then if you join the Skool group, there's 3 different meal plans. There's one that I'm doing, which is the strict, which is under 25 grams of carbs. And then you get the moderate, which is under 50 grams of carbs, and the liberal, which is under 100. So there's a bit of a choice for you, and it's all there for free if you want in the Skool group. But as you can see here, I was under my carb count, and all I'm paying attention to is carbs. I'm just at each of my 2 meals, I'm just eating until I'm full at every single meal, and it seems to work out. And I'm getting all my um, everything that I need, because basically for protein, you want 1 gram of protein per ideal pound of body weight. And so I'm 185 pounds. I'm not looking to lose weight. I'm not looking to gain weight, anything like that. And usually just doing this without even caring about my protein and just eating till full. If you've been following me along for the series over the challenge, I've been consistently getting over 185 grams of protein every single day with not worrying about it. The only thing that I'm worrying about is the carbs right now. And the reason why I say that is because in the beginning, that's the most important thing to be paying attention to, especially like when you're starting a low carb diet. And then I'm not saying that all this other things aren't important. Like I'm not saying calories aren't important, protein's not important, fat's not important, stuff like that. It's just in the beginning, it's without getting things too complicated. Like you're going to want to pay attention to those later on. But I think the biggest lever for when people are starting is just paying attention to the carbs to begin. So that's how that looked. And then my water intake. So, like I said, I already went over how I got to the 3 liter mark. So you can go back, rewatch that, and figure that out for yourself if you'd like. And then the way I get my electrolytes in. So, like I said, I salt my food generously with my Baja Gold organic sea salt. And then I do have an electrolyte supplement. And again, it's BioSteel. I'm not affiliated with them, anything at all. I just one of the ones that doesn't have sugar in it, and it tastes good. And it's one that I've been using for a long time. So the next task is the sleep. So for the challenge, it's you just got to set a bedtime and a sleep time. And so I hit that again. I was in bed by 9. My head hit the pillow. I was ready to sleep by that time. And then my wake up time again. And I keep saying this. It's like I don't need to snooze. As soon as my alarm goes off, I'm boom up out of bed. So I don't need to worry about setting my alarm a little bit earlier so I can snooze up till the time I need to get up. Because for the sake of this challenge, if I didn't get out of bed at that time and press snooze or something, then I would fail and have to restart. In your normal day life, maybe that might not happen. But I think it's just better to, because the whole point of me setting this as a task for this challenge is to set up your circadian rhythm. So basically what that is it's an internal clock in your body that tells you when it's time to sleep, when it's time to get up, and then when like your wake time, right? So it elevates, so it kind of regulates your energy. And so, like even a time like when I would be working on the commercial crab fishing boat, I mean, we'd be working through the night. Um, it would be like you're so tired, you're about to like pass out. It feels like, and then the sun comes up, and boom, you got another wind, right? Because that's just my circadian rhythm saying, oh, okay, it's daytime now, and then I get more energy. I get a second wind, so to speak. And then my movement piece for the challenge. So what I did was I ran 9 kilometers after my day job. I just went on the treadmill, and then I watched just an episode of a show while I was doing the 9 kilometers on the treadmill. I don't really like running on the treadmill, but it's super snowy, cold, slippery and shit outside. I don't want to risk getting injured. I just got back from an injury, so I'm kind of sticking to running on the treadmill for now. But I got that in, and so that was good. And then the last part is the accountability piece, because I think this just helps people stick to things. So what I've done is in the Skool group, you're able to just make a post in the check-in thread that I started there. So just for accountability. So it's again, all these rules are the same. keeping it simple. It's either I did the task or I didn't, and then I won the day or lost the day based on the 5 critical tasks. So I got them all today. And then tomorrow, what we're going to be talking about is movement, and movement that actually fits your normal day. So it's not going to be like a 2 hour gym session, anything like that. It'll be just simple movements that'll improve your insulin, your energy, and your mood. And I'll be able to walk you through why it matters so much and how to start building more of it into your regular day in a way that's realistic and sustainable. So if you haven't already, feel free to join the Screw group. Like I said, this is where I'm hosting the challenge. This is where you'll get a bunch of things like I have the meal plans for you, food lists, step by step guides about this challenge to kind of get you going on better health habits. And then you'll be able to post your daily wins, losses, stuff like that, all with people doing the same thing. Again, for the accountability piece. So that's all I got for you today. But I hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope that you're getting value out of this. Just feel free to like and subscribe if you're liking the stuff, or even post some questions or anything in the comments that I'll check before the next live. And then if I need to address anything, then I can do that for you. But other than that, I'll see you on the next.